Hello and welcome to the solutions video for IXL 10M9. The permanent code link is LTU. This is solving a system of equations using substitution in word problems. So, a yoga studio offers memberships that cost $30 per month for unlimited classes. The studio also accepts walk-ins, charging $6 per class. If someone attends enough classes in a month, the two options cost the same total amount. What is that total amount? Well, in one option, the cost is 30, and in the other option, that cost is 6x. If they are equal to each other, 6x equals 30, x is 30 over 6, which is 5. So each option costs $30 if a person takes 5 classes. So, Mrs. Lamb is a dance teacher whose students are going to have a recital. She's comparing two companies' prices for filming the recital and producing DVDs. So, Ms. Mitchell's Productions charges $10 per DVD, plus another $102 to come film the recital. Stanford Media only costs or charges $96 to film, but it's another $13 per DVD. So she determines the number of options that would make the two options equivalent in terms of cost. It's a fairly effective way. So you know the cutoff point. That's the calculation you want to do if you're trying to decide before you know how many DVDs you're going to be selling. If you know the number of DVDs, you could just substitute that in and see which is cheaper. But if you don't know that yet, you could do the calculation of equating them, figure out what the cutoff is, and then you will have that information to know where to go as soon as you have an estimate for the number of DVDs. So at this point, what we want to do is equate the two. We're going to move our x's to the right, where the coefficient is positive, the constant to the left. So if we sell more than 2 DVDs, right, 2 DVDs, the Stanford Media would be 96 plus 26, excuse me, which is 122. And that's the same price for both. So it's $122 for 2 DVDs. Now, Ken plans to attend the Monroe County Fair and is trying to decide what would be a better deal. He could pay $39 for unlimited rides, or he could pay $13 admission plus $1 per ride. And when are these two prices the same? Well, that's when 39 is 13 plus x. So x is 26. So we know it's 39 because one of them is $39 no matter what. And we need 26 rides to make them equal. Now Professor Melton is grading papers in the teacher's lounge. She's already finished grading 18 assignments and is grading 5 more per hour. Her teaching assistant comes in, hasn't graded any, but can grade 8 per hour. At some point, they'll be finished after having graded the same number of papers. So 8x equals 18 plus 5x. 3x equals 18. X equals 6. So in 6 hours, they will have each graded 48 papers. A new hospital starts out with 9 junior residents and 7 senior residents on staff. Management plans to hire additional personnel at 2 junior per month and 4 senior per month. So we have the junior residents and the senior residents. Eventually it'll be the same numbers of both. How many of each type will there be? We equate these two and we get 2 equals 2x. So there'll be 11 of each staff members in 1 month. So Franklin is going to send some flowers to his wife. Danville Florist charges $2 per rose, plus 20 for the vase. Ava's Flowers charges $1 per rose, and 23 for the vase. If he orders the bouquet with a certain number of roses, the cost will be the same for either flower shop. So that would be, let's see, we will equate the two. So 2x plus 20 is x plus 23. We move the x and the 20 across, and we have x equals 3. So if the bouquet contains 3 roses, well, first of all, I would question whether we can even call it a bouquet, but second, the total is $26. And guys or girls, if you're buying someone roses, you don't buy a bouquet of 3. You could buy a single rose, or you could jump up to a dozen, but really there's no in between. Anyway, Jonathan is going to the water slides and needs to figure out which deal is better. He could pay $35 for unlimited amounts, or he could pay $17 to get in, plus 3 per trip. So when they're equal, clearly they have to equal 35 because that's where the two match. The difference between 35 and 17 is $18, so after 6 trips, the 3x will be 18. Now, Mrs. Richmond is researching what it would cost in order to order flower arrangements for a fancy party. So Fairfax Florist charges $9 for the smaller arrangements plus $42 for the centerpiece. And Trent's Flowers charges $45 for the centerpiece, but only $8 for the rest. There's a $3 difference here and a $1 difference per small flower. So that tells me we're probably going to be 3 flowers in before it's the same. So 3 times 9 is 27. That would make this 69. 3 times 8 is 24. Yes, $69 if Mrs. Richmond orders 3 of the smaller arrangements. Stefan flew home from holidays with a heavy bag. With the first airline he flew, Stefan had to pay $19 to check his bag. Why did I write 18? That's $19 to check his bag, plus $25 for each over kilogram. And then he had the same weight limit. He had to pay $24 per kilogram, but $22 for the check bag. Again, a difference of 3 here and a difference of 3 here. So if he's 3 kilograms over the limit, this would be 75 plus 19, which is 94. This would be 72 plus 22, which is 94. So 3 kilos cost $94, or 3 excess kilos. Sorry about the pause there. Edna and Jasper each wanted to run for president of their school's student council. In order to do so, they must collect a certain number of signatures and get a nomination. So far, Edna has 28 and Jasper has 16. But Edna's doing 1 per day, whereas Jasper's doing 13 per day. So assuming their rate of collection is the same, eventually the two will have the same number. Well, they're 12 apart, and Jasper collects 12 more each day. So in 1 day, they'll have 29 signatures both times. All right, so let's see. Volleyball team gets $3 per car. In addition, they've already bought 108 for fundraisers. The wrestling team had already raised $10, but they're making $5 per car. So after we wash these, they're the same. If we equate them, it's a difference of 2x and 98. 98 over 2. So after washing 49 cars, both teams will have raised a total of, I find the mental math will be easier if we substitute in here, because 5 times 50 is 250. So 5 times 49 is 245. This should make 255. We can double check that 3 times 49 is 157. Add 108, we do get 255. Mandy is starting a business selling handmade necklaces. She decided to invest an initial amount of 108 for advertising, and then 4 per necklace she makes. And she could sell her creations for $10 per necklace. So what's her break-even point? When do her expenses equal her revenue? That's when 108 plus 4x equals 10x, or 108 equals 6x. So that's 108 divided by 6, which is 18. So she'll have to sell 18 necklaces, and that's easiest to calculate with that 10x, that's 180. And yes, that's consistent. 4 times 18 is 72 plus 108. So that's 180 both ways. All right, challenge zone after 12 questions. Or after, 12 questions answered. So Gabby and Zoe are growing out their hair. They plan to cut it off and donate to a wig making company. So Gabby's hair is already 18 centimeters long and grows at 2 centimeters per month. Zoe's is 38 and growing at 1 centimeter per month. So she's got a 20 centimeter head start, and the difference is 1 centimeter per day. This will be 20 months, and that's 58 centimeters using each calculation. So band students are tested on and required to pass a certain number of scales. So Stacy has passed 3 scales, whereas Judy has passed 9. Stacy's going to pass 4 per week. Judy's going to pass 3 per week. So they start 6 apart. They're going to close the gap by 1 scale per week. So it's going to take 6 weeks to finish this, which is 27. Either way, you work it out. This is the solution set for the grade 10 M.9.